How you start a season matters, but how you finish defines your legacy. The NFL is a league of relentless pressure, where expectations tighten, every decision is magnified, and the final weeks often expose the true character of a team. Some squads unravel spectacularly when the finish line is in sight, turning promising seasons into cautionary tales. Others find a second life, defying odds, rewriting narratives, and transforming mediocrity into unforgettable heroics. Late-season collapses and miraculous turnarounds aren't just statistical footnotes, they're emotional gut punches and euphoric awakenings that define the memories of fans for decades. Here's a deep dive into 5 of the most painful collapses and 5 of the most remarkable turnarounds in NFL history. Let's start with one of the most puzzling collapses of the 1990s, the '94 Philadelphia Eagles. Coming off a bizarre 1993 season where the team alternated between winning streaks and losing skids, expectations were cautiously optimistic for 1994. The Eagles stormed out of the gate, winning 7 of their first 9 games. Their 48 blowout of the eventual Super Bowl champion, San Francisco 49ers at Candlestick Park made a bold statement. They weren't just contenders, they looked unstoppable, but momentum in the NFL is fragile. After a humbling 26-7 loss at home to the Cleveland Browns, Philadelphia's season spiraled out of control. Pro Bowl quarterback Randall Cunningham struggled mightily, failing to throw a single touchdown in 4 of his last 5 starts. A 5-game losing streak dropped the team to 7-7, forcing head coach Rich Kotite to bench Cunningham in favor of Bubby Brister. Brister couldn't spark a revival. The Eagles limped to a 7-9 finish, and Kotite's job was gone. A team that appeared poised for a playoff run ended up as a cautionary tale of squandered opportunity. The flip side of collapse is a Cinderella story, and few are more remarkable than the 1996 Jacksonville Jaguars. Only in their second year of existence, the Jaguars had no business being relevant. Their inaugural 1995 season ended 4-12 under head coach Tom Coughlin, so expectations for 1996 were low. The season began poorly. Jacksonville lost 7 of its first 11 games, but 5 of those losses were by a single score, signaling that the team wasn't terrible. It was just unlucky. In Week 11, quarterback Mark Brunell and star receiver Jimmy Smith finally found rhythm, sparking a 4-game winning streak. By the final week, the Jaguars needed 1 win against Atlanta to reach the playoffs. Despite a missed field goal by Morton Anderson that seemed to seal their fate, Jacksonville squeaked into the postseason. Then came one of the most improbable playoff runs in history, a stunning 30-27 upset of the Buffalo Bills in the wild card round, followed by a road win over John Elway's top-seeded Denver Broncos in the divisional round. The Cinderella run ended in the AFC Championship game with a 20-6 loss to the New England Patriots, but the Jaguars had announced themselves as a franchise capable of miracles. Fast forward to the modern era, and the 2018 Pittsburgh Steelers exemplify how talent alone can't prevent collapse. After 4 straight playoff appearances and a 13-win season in 2017, Pittsburgh entered 2018 as a favorite to compete for the Super Bowl. Le'Veon Bell's contract holdout left the offense handicapped, but James Conner emerged, and the Steelers ripped off 6 straight wins to sit at 7-2-1. Then disaster struck. A loss to Denver, a blown 16-point lead to the Los Angeles Chargers, and a comical defeat in Oakland after Chris Boswell slipped on a potential game-tying kick sent the Steelers spiraling. Even an emotional win over New England couldn't stop the bleeding. A heartbreaking loss to the Saints in Week 16, sealed by Juju Smith-Schuster's late fumble, compounded by Antonio Brown walking out on practice before Week 17, epitomized dysfunction. Pittsburgh finished 9-6-1, missing the playoffs as rookie Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens took the division. The season symbolized the fragility of even the most talented rosters when leadership and composure fail at critical moments. One of the more inspiring turnarounds in recent memory is the 2016 Green Bay Packers. Sitting at 4-6 after a humiliating 42-24 loss to Washington, the season looked dead. That's when Aaron Rodgers made one of the boldest statements in NFL history, declaring the Packers could run the table. Over the final 6 games, Rodgers threw 15 touchdowns with 0 interceptions, dragging Green Bay to a 10-6 finish and a division title. They stormed through the Giants and the Cowboys before falling in the NFC Championship to Atlanta. From disaster to Final Four, the Packers' second-half surge demonstrated how leadership and elite quarterback play can completely rewrite a season. Contrast that with the 2009 Denver Broncos, whose late-season collapse remains infamous. After a disastrous 2008 season, Denver rebuilt under Josh McDaniels with Kyle Orton at quarterback. The team started 6-0, beating playoff-bound teams including Tom Brady's Patriots and Philip Rivers' Chargers. Momentum seemed unstoppable, but 4 straight losses, all decided by double-digit margins, erased the early season magic. Despite a brief rebound to 8-4, Denver lost 3 more straight and entered Week 17 in must-win mode, only to fail spectacularly. The collapse dashed playoff hopes and foreshadowed a tumultuous McDaniels tenure, leaving fans wondering what might have been. The twin-2 Jacksonville Jaguars wrote a modern fairy tale. After years of losing and the disastrous Urban Meyer experiment, Jacksonville stumbled to 4-8 early in the season. Trevor Lawrence emerged as a force, playing at MVP level and leading a defense finally capable of holding its own. A 5-game winning streak capped by a division-clinching Week 18 victory over Tennessee propelled the Jaguars into the postseason. In the wild-card round, Jacksonville executed one of the most remarkable comebacks in NFL history, erasing a 27-0 deficit against the Chargers to secure a thrilling 31-30 win. Though they eventually fell to the Chiefs in the divisional round, the late-season resurgence re-established the Jaguars as a franchise with a bright future. The 1987 San Diego Chargers suffered a collapse exacerbated by unusual circumstances, a player strike that shortened the season to 15 games. After a season-opening loss, the Chargers went on an 8-game winning streak, looking like legitimate contenders. But the second half was a nightmare. Star quarterback Dan Fouts struggled immensely, throwing only 2 touchdowns against 7 interceptions over the final 5 games. San Diego dropped 6 straight, including 4 games giving up 24-plus points, and missed the playoffs by a single game. Fouts retired afterward, leaving fans to ponder the sting of what could have been. Historical turnarounds provide hope for struggling teams like the 1970 Cincinnati Bengals. After an encouraging Week 1 win over the Raiders, the Bengals collapsed, losing 6 straight games and surrendering at least 20 points in each defeat. Yet under coach Paul Brown, Cincinnati refused to quit. Led by dynamic runners Paul Robinson and Jess Phillips, the Bengals closed out the season with 7 consecutive victories, capturing the AFC Central title from the Cleveland Browns. Though their playoff run ended with a 17-0 loss to the Colts, the turnaround demonstrated resilience and set a foundation for future success. The 1993 Miami Dolphins experienced one of the cruelest collapses in NFL history. After star quarterback Dan Marino suffered a season-ending Achilles injury in Week 6, backup quarterbacks Scott Mitchell and Steve DeBerg kept the team afloat. A Thanksgiving win over the Dallas Cowboys put Miami at 9-2 and within striking distance of a playoff berth. Then, disaster struck. Miami lost its final 5 games, missing the playoffs despite needing only 1 win in that span. It was a stark reminder that no lead, no matter how comfortable, guarantees a successful finish. Finally, the 2008 San Diego Chargers exemplified an exhilarating late-season resurgence. The team began 4-8, seemingly doomed after a promising 2007 campaign and Philip Rivers' rising stardom. With 4 games to play, the Chargers began a miraculous surge, winning their remaining contests, including a dominant Week 17 victory over Denver to clinch the division. Momentum carried them into the playoffs, where they defeated Peyton Manning's Colts in thrilling overtime fashion before bowing out the following week. It wasn't a Super Bowl run, but it was an inspiring demonstration of resilience and timing. Across decades, the NFL has taught fans that the finish line is where heroes are made and failures are remembered. Late-season collapses underscore the fragile nature of momentum and the unforgiving standards of professional football. Turnarounds remind us that belief, leadership, and execution can resurrect even the most battered teams. Every season adds new examples, because in this league, it doesn't matter how you start. The finish is what defines greatness. The next time you watch the final weeks of the NFL season, remember, every late-game fumble, missed kick, or touchdown can reshape history. Momentum swings, locker rooms fracture, and careers are defined in mere minutes. From the Eagles' 1994 meltdown to the Jaguars' 2022 resurgence, the drama is never-ending, proving that in the NFL, the last chapter of the story is the one everyone will remember.